Okay, so let's double check and make sure I got all these. That'd be nice to have, make sure I have the music right on the music podcast, wouldn't it? That'd be a good thing.
Yeah.
I think we can all agree.
I think so.
All right, excellent. Jesus Christ.
I think we are in concurrence.
All right. Are you guys ready to go?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, here we go.
Mind if I put on some music?
I do not.
All right.
I do not.
I like this. Wait for the drop.
I'm sorry, the drop?
What is happening? What? What is this? I can't hear you.
Oh, what is that?
Dude, that's my jam.
Why am I sweating so much?
Because you're feeling it.
Is that a good thing?
Yes!
Oh, hello everybody, hello, and welcome to Wait for the Drop, the only Salt Lake City-based EDM podcast where 3 friends and 9 tracks come together to hash it out. My name is Mike.
My name's Toby.
My name's Zeke.
Woo! And we are here to help you rage, or maybe not. Maybe not, who knows. Well, rage with responsibility, hopefully. Oh my God, you guys, hello. We've done it. We've made it. The first ever second episode of Wait for the Drop.
Wait for the drop.
Hell yeah.
Podcast. Holy shit, it's good to see you guys. Like, for real talk. I'm so glad I convinced you to do this, but now we're here for the second episode. Now you're in.
Yeah.
Now you're in. You can't turn back. Your souls are... No, never mind. It's fine. So let's talk. What's been going on? You guys had a couple of things out of state. I haven't seen you guys in like 2 weeks. So where'd you go? What's been up? What's going on?
Just went out to California for
Yeah.
spring break.
Yep. Did some hiking and bouldering in Joshua Tree National Park, and then went and visited some friends in the Central Valley.
God, that's awesome.
It was a good time.
I've never been to Joshua Tree. I've been to the slums of Los Angeles where there's a definite border between business and 10 valleys for the less unfortunate, unfortunately. But that's cool. What was the best thing about going to Cali for a little while? The people, the sounds, the sights, the weed? What was going on? No, sorry. You don't have to say that.
I'd say all.
Nice. All of the
Yes.
above.
Every time I go to California, it's a good time.
That's for sure.
It's awesome. I'm glad. Well, then, I'm glad to have you guys back. And it's good to welcome you back to Wait for the Drop.
Wait for the drop.
Where we never play the same track twice. Kidding. So, to reiterate, everybody, this is the second episode of what will hopefully be a very kick-ass, very fun experience with myself, Toby and Zeke, bringing you some interesting tracks that are readily available to everybody who feels like getting into EDM. And we're gonna just jump right into it. So
Let's do
why don't we
it.
get started, gentlemen? This first track that we have for today was brought to us by young Toby. It is Color. Whoa, hold on a second. I have more than one audio stream going. How about now? We're clear. Excellent. Color by an artist named Marshmallow. Toby, let's jump into this, dude. Why is this an awesome track?
I just love Marshmallow. It's just
I love the name.
super upbeat,
Yeah.
just happy music. I don't think you can listen to Marshmallow and be sad.
Right. Do you
Not
find
in
that
a good mood.
Yeah. Well, just initially, like it's coming out, it's making me happy already. You got the same
I would
kind of
say that
opinion?
is accurate.
All right, awesome. Let's jump into this Color by Marshmallow, everybody. goodness. Oh my goodness. Bring in the pain, Toby. The good kind of pain. So let's talk about that, because while the track was playing, I mentioned like in the first 5 seconds how I was depressed and moody, but now I feel completely positive and gangbusters. So is that the main reason that's why I like that track so much?
That's what Marshall does to you.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah, I saw him. The first like EDM show rave I ever went to was in California, and I didn't really know many of the artists. I hadn't really been into EDM until after that rave. That rave was what kind of got me into it, and I didn't really recognize a lot of the musicians, but Marshmello was very recognizable.
Yeah, of course.
He wears this big cone thing on his head that looks like a marshmallow.
That's great.
So
Yeah, no.
He's
kinda
following the
stuck with me ever since.
Deadmau5 changed the game when it came to,
Yeah.
to rave helmets
Yeah.
in general.
Yep.
That's awesome. Well, I think everybody starts that way. We talked about that a little bit in the last episode, where like for me, I'm a little bit older than you guys, not by much, but for me, it's like a resurgence coming into electronic music. For you guys, you've only been not only, but you've got a good year and a half roughly into it. But prior to that, you guys weren't really into it that much, right? Is that safe to say?
Yeah, I'd listen to it on occasion.
Yeah.
But ever since I went to that rave, I was like,
And that's how it
Shit's
happens.
awesome.
That's how it happens. That's how music affects people. They see it for real, and it just becomes a part of their lives, which is
yeah,
awesome.
Definitely.
yeah.
Well, let's talk about the next track then coming up, because it is brought to us by Young Zeke, and it is a track called Crave You, the Adventure Club remix, which was originally produced by Flight Facilities. Zeke, get into it. Why is this track important to you, brother?
I really enjoy Adventure Club. Last episode I had like some more mellow stuff, but
Yeah.
I wanted to bring some more like harder kind of ravey things.
Cool.
Like, it starts out mellow like this, but you'll see pretty
All right.
soon.
I can't wait. Let's jump into it.
It's true, I crave you. the boys do. They stare at me while I crave you.
Dude. Oh my goodness. I just love how that track ends too. It's just like abrupt. It's like, we're done. Thank you so very much. Let's talk about that a bit, Zeke. So when it comes to flight facilities and also just the Adventure Club, this is one of those situations where you have an original piece of work that's strong by itself. But Adventure Club, I think, they've gained a lot of momentum. I don't know how long we've been doing music, but their remixes are really revolutionary in a sense.
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't know flight facilities very well. I haven't listened to a lot of their stuff, but, you know, Adventure Club I dig. And they're just, like, really renowned for their live shows as well.
Yeah.
Like, Maddie has had the privilege of seeing them at Life in Color.
Maddie, who are you talking about? I don't... Oh my God, ladies and gentlemen, we have a special guest in the peanut gallery, the very knowledgeable, very beautiful, very capable young Maddie. She may or may not be in a relationship with 1/3 of the podcast group here, but we're not going to tell you who. So no, I'm kidding. What? But always a pleasure to have you, Maddie. Thank you so very much.
Anyhow,
but you were talking, the live shows come up really hot, and it's especially with this group.
And just like, yeah, they have a very dynamic performance, I feel.
Excellent.
So,
well, we'll talk about like the importance of seeing some of these groups live, I think, later in the podcast when we go into our concert segment.
Definitely.
But for now, what I want to introduce you guys to is somebody who you probably may have already heard about, Mr. Major Lazer. So back in the day, which is probably maybe a couple years back or so, Major Lazer did a song called Powerful with one of my favorite artists, Ellie Goulding, who has done stuff with everybody, a vocalist. And this is the Box and Box and Lion Size remix of that hit, Powerful. I'm a big fan of remixes, and you're about to find out why. Let's get into this.
There's an energy when you hold me, when you touch me. It's so powerful, I can feel it. When you hold me, when you touch me. It's so powerful.
gosh. Oh my gosh, you guys. So we are just gliding right along here, and we're just going to keep it going with just good music and stories about shows and people getting hit in the head with necklaces and all that other good stuff. So I'm kidding. We'll talk about that later. So guys, let's get into that a little bit. So Major Lazer is one of these guys that I found that apparently, like, again, and I know we're reiterating this. I'm going to be saying this like 5,000 times per podcast. But again, electronic dance music was something that I was into when I was younger, and now I'm getting really back into it. And Major Lazer, the guy who made this original track, is one of those guys that I wouldn't have heard of if it wasn't for Spotify. There are so many artists that are just putting out quality work. When was the last time that you guys were, in the past year or whatever, were surprised by an artist when you thought they were like mainstream, but you found out they were actually just like not very well known? Is that a good question to ask? Because with Major Lazer, that's what happened with me. I had no idea who this guy was, but apparently he had been doing EDM for a long time. You know, I was surprised that I hadn't heard of him before.
Yeah.
No.
I definitely think that happens a lot to me. Just I'll stumble across an artist and.
Can you remember anybody right offhand that you think was?
Well, actually, the next song I think that's coming up, Martin Garrix.
Really?
I didn't know. I had no idea how big he was, and then I started listening to him more. And I was like, this guy's huge.
Yeah. Oh my
And he's
God.
super young.
Sure.
Perfect intro. So as segues go, I don't think you could do that any better there, Toby. The next one we have is the original mix of Forbidden Voices by one young Martin Garrix. It's a beautiful song. Here we go, guys. Nice. Very good. That was Forbidden Voices, the original mix by one young Martin Garrix. Maddie, what were you saying about that song?
That's for sure one of my most favorite happy songs.
Yes!
Happy song.
Happy song. That's what we're doing, ladies and gentlemen. We're bringing the happy here with Wait for the Drop.
Wait for the drop.
Yes. any chance I get. Excellent. So, guys, let's talk about that one a little bit. We were talking about during the track a little, and something that we're going to delve into different episodes. That's a little bit different than the previous tracks we were playing because it's definitely more trancey, which means it's more of like a
repetitive.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And kind of maybe a little bit softer, maybe for lack of a better term.
Yeah. So faster, more repetitive, softer beats. Whereas I feel like something I don't know. For example, Doomsday, the next track.
Yeah.
Will be a little harder, slower.
What do you think you guys gravitate to more often when it comes to what you listen to in this genre?
I would say I'm more of the Martin Garrix.
Yeah.
Slightly lighter, a little faster.
Yep.
Yeah. I don't know. I something harder with a more housey beat. I was saying, I did an Excision track one time.
Yeah. That was the last episode, which is very good.
Yeah, it was. Anyway, I really got to be in the mood for something like that.
I feel you.
So I have been getting more into trance lately, and it's been growing on me for sure.
Well, trance has been there forever. I mean, because I think it has a simpler. Oh man, we're gonna put on our snob hats here, ladies and gentlemen. But I think it has a simpler structure than dubstep when it comes to the rhythms and maybe even the BPM or something like that. I don't know. Mm-hmm. I'm talking on my ass right now, but
yeah. But then I don't know. I think it also really depends.
Yeah. Oh, dude. Well, that's Maddie, excellent point. Some of the major artists have been doing this for over freaking 2 decades. They were all trance at first. BT, Tiesto, Robert Miles, all these guys, strict trance for sure. But then, tastes change, and I think honestly, just that's the way art moves, man. You have different people.
Evolves.
Yeah, it does.
Kind of this notion of artists selling out versus I don't know, progressing. I feel when you're. Well, I don't know where I was going with that.
No. I feel you, though. No, you're right. There's definitely an argument for it. And not just in EDM, but I think because the market is so flooded, which again is a subject we're going to talk about in later episodes, which with different versions of electronic dance music, what is really the classification of an artist evolving versus selling out? And I mean, selling out, is that really even a bad thing? I mean, if you're going to evolve and allow your stuff to be more applicable to a wider audience, definitely. I mean, that has such a, I don't know, it has such a negative connotation. Mm-hmm. I don't think anybody sells out anymore. I think they just change their tastes. You're allowed to flip flop or
definitely.
Or whatever.
I mean, they're appeasing a crowd of 10,000 people.
Yeah, what are you gonna do?
Yeah, I mean, it's so great when you can make that many people come together in a place and
absolutely
be happy and promote love and
absolutely. Yeah. What was the acronym that you used before?
PLUR.
PLUR. Fuck yeah, make that happen.
Yeah, peace, love, unity, respect.
That's it, and that's definitely. That's right, Maddie. For everybody who is new to the podcast, young Maddie is more than capable of being able to have her opinion known, and it's appropriate because this young lady knows what she's talking about. Putting together all these different beats and all these different things, whatever you want to, this whole stereotype about just being a DJ pushing a button with EDM.
It's bullshit.
It is bullshit. Absolutely. Thank you, Toby.
Yeah.
It's bullshit. No, but it's complicated.
Anyone who says that, I tell them to go try their hand, download some sort of audio software producing program, and
try to replicate that track, dude.
This music.
Yeah, really.
It's way more complicated.
Yeah, that's the reason. That's the reason as to why I'm playing these tracks and critiquing them instead of making them myself, because it's fucking hard work. And I'm lazy as shit. Yeah, exactly. Thank you, DJ Mike. Yeah, we'll get there one way or other. Oh my God, this has gotten way out of hand, and I love it. All right, next we are going to have a good example of how complicated and interesting EDM can be with the next track on our lineup, Doomsday by Nero. That's the name of the track. This is brought to us by young Zeke. Zeke, let us know what's going on with this track. Why do you like it?
Well, first of all, it's that one little sound clip from the Matrix.
Yeah.
I feel so.
That's the horns that we're listening to right now.
Yeah, I really enjoy the Matrix. So, but then like, you know, as the song goes on,
All right.
it gets pretty good.
Well, we're gonna see how it evolves right now. Here we go. Sweet Jesus on a piece of toast. That was crazy. That was crazy. That was crazy. All right, so that was Doomsday by Nero. Zeke, I don't know what it is, man, but this is show number 2. If everyone's counting officially, it's the 3rd podcast that we've done. Of course, the first one's going to be secret. But anyway, you always have this great point of giving me a goddamn L5 vertebrae splinter because I'm headbanging so much to these. Let's talk about that a little bit because we were talking while the track was playing. Nero is one of the first artists that you were introduced to, I think, right? Or
well, yeah. So I found out about Nero about a couple months ago. I bought a ticket to Get Lucky, which is the Springtime rave here in Salt Lake. And started listening to this stuff, and I came across this song and just really drawn to it because, you know, it's incorporation of pop culture, and I love it when, you know, an artist will do that because,
Well, we've talked about that
It's
before.
fun.
yeah, I've done that, and it's
Yeah.
kind of hard, not because I mean that's a testament to how popular EDM, and also I think how. Oh God, I don't want to. I'm missing the term right now, but it's interesting how it's such a popular genre of music that they can get away with taking, like you mentioned, like some of the hits off of the song may have been augmented from like the Matrix movie.
Yeah.
And I've definitely had tracks on the show that were taken directly from movies, like the Dirty Phonics pick that I had that was from
Yeah.
Back to the Future.
And
And they can get away with that.
For sure. And Nero does it really well. At the show, actually, he did a excellent remix of Icky Thump by the White Stripes. And you wouldn't
Really?
think, like, you know, that could be remixed into a cool, like, hard, exciting EDM song.
For sure.
It, you know, it has its own
I love
vibe,
it.
but it was so good. It,
I
like,
love
blew
it.
my mind.
how some artists are going to be like, yeah, I'm going to take a car horn and I'm going to turn it into like the next Billboard Top 40 for electronic dance music. That's awesome. Well, that's a testament to what they can do, man. It's hard work, but it's also creative people who are making the shit work for real. So, all right. So the next one is going to be my pick, and I'm going to be honest, you guys. Oh wait, no, that's Nero still. Hold on. There we go. This next pick is Thwack. Thwack. That's the name of it.
Okay.
It's the same noise that it makes when you flick somebody on the face with your forefinger or something like that. Thwack. Okay, this is the original mix made by Mr. Bill and one of my favorite artists as of late, Virtual Riot. I have been listening to this song 50 times a day, and you're about to find out why. Here we go. Oh my gosh, you guys. All right. So let's get into that track a little bit, everybody. Again, that was Thwack, the original mix by Mr. Bill, and the incomparable, I believe, German EDM artist, Virtual Riot, which in the past couple months I've become a huge, huge fan of. Once again, this is Wait for the Drop.
Wait for the drop.
Where we never play the same track twice, but god damn it, if I have anything to say about it, we'll be playing a lot more from Virtual Riot and Mr. Bill in the future, because that track was off the chain. I like that very much because, again, it falls like in the same kind of... I mean, I know it's kind of like I'm on a broken record, guys, when I talk about me liking like complicated tracks, like a lot of different layers and that kind of thing. We're fine, don't worry. And but when it comes to stuff that like makes a really good use of different rhythms, this track I think is a good example of that, because it's a real drum set that's like popping up.
Yeah.
And it's a good way in which you have, like, for lack of a better term, analog sounds popping up with what is definitely like a synth being played in the background or whatever. Do you guys like that kind of stuff where it's like complicated, different stuff, or like, do you think you gravitate sometimes? I mean, I know it depends upon the mood, but sometimes trance is good too, where you have just like a steady beat. And
I wouldn't say it's my preference, but I definitely enjoy it.
Yeah.
Awesome. This whole podcast is just about getting your approval, guys.
Yeah.
It's not about appreciation for an art form whatsoever. It's about making
like,
sure.
I love sharing my music with people. And,
Likewise.
Yeah.
Likewise.
Just it's great.
Well, let's keep on sharing them, because the next one we have up is a track brought to us by young Toby by an artist named Rehab called Everything. Let's take a look at this and we'll take a listen. All right, so Toby, let's get into this, dude. We've talked about Rehab before. I'm not sure if we've had an example of them on the show before, but it does sound familiar. Why is this track important to you?
I don't know. I just kind of stumbled across it when I was browsing through Spotify. And
Nice.
Thought it was catchy, and yeah, it was one
Throw
of
it
the
down,
songs
that's all
that
you need.
I had on repeat for like a week or so. And
Nice, dude.
this artist is stuck
Another
with me.
diamond in the rough.
Yeah,
all right, well, here we go,
absolutely.
guys. This is Everything by Rehab. Oh my goodness. Okay, so a little bit, man, that's definitely more in like the hard kind of genre that we have going on, which is absolutely appreciated. Ted, let's talk about that. Now, you mentioned that you heard that track out of nowhere.
Yeah,
and
was just one I stumbled across and thought that's the fucking awesome
That's
song.
all. Do you think does that happen a lot to you guys? Like, are you just like,
Yeah, I'll just
Yeah.
kind of like browse random Spotify
Yeah.
playlists and just save the songs that I enjoy. And
yeah?
yeah, just
I think that's a
going back.
majority of stuff in my library right now. It's just I switch on Discovery, and it's like, okay, holy
Yeah.
shit, I didn't know you could do that.
Definitely like using the radio feature of Spotify as
For
well
real.
for the
Yeah.
like exploration of different
Yeah,
music
find an
It's
artist
a hell of a
that you
tool.
like and listen to
Definitely.
the radio, and you'll find other similar artists. That
And
are,
let's put up there, guys. Spotify is not an official sponsor of the Wait for the Drop
Wait for the drop.
podcast, but god damn it, it's an awesome service. So if you got to spare $11 per month, you should subscribe and just throw it down. Or if you want to do it for free, that's fine. In case I just have to make sure that you don't mind hearing ads about, like, I don't know, vitamins.
I don't know. I haven't
Shit.
heard any ads.
Yeah, I don't know,
Spotify
right?
in a minute.
For real. Let's move on to the next track then. Thank you very much, Toby. That was awesome. Next one we have coming up is The Molecule Man by an artist named Liquid Stranger. Let's take a listen to this. This is brought to us by young Zeke. Zeke, let's get into this, brother. What do you think is going on with this track? Why do you like it so much?
Oh, just like its incorporation of like a sciencey theme.
For sure.
With like a very like penetrating sound.
Okay. Well, let's
But
all
I had
get.
to put it that way.
Let's all get. I don't judge you. No judgment. Let's all get penetrated. Wow.
A consciously aware thought. Thinking of myself.
Thinking of myself, thinking of myself, thinking of myself, thinking.
They call me the Molecule Man.
They call me the Molecule Man.
Wake up.
Wake up, wake up.
I'm coming for you.
I'm coming for you.
The Molecule Man is a rude boy star. The run, I defeat the coming over. The bumpers you make us scatter them, they rhythm the note. With the molecule passing from my head to real fear.
from my real deal. Man is a rude boy.
Jeez. As the ghosts leave the Highlands, we must remember the Irija, my man, Irija Fatigam. No, that's great. Holy shit, Zeke. That was awesome, dude. Thank you so very much.
I really dig that track. I only just found out about Liquid Stranger a couple weeks ago.
I'm glad you're educating me about him because that was off, as I usually say with the stuff you guys bring me, that was off the fucking chain. That was ridiculous.
Do you guys see what I mean, by like penetrating beat?
Yes.
Like, just this deep,
for real.
Type beat, yeah.
It's like the bass and everything hits so hard with that, and there's like a lot of complicated melodies, despite the song being kind of slow in a sense.
Yeah, definitely.
You're just like sitting there grooving to it.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, like we were saying before, just when you incorporate like science or sci-fi type themes into a song,
for sure,
it can it just makes it really interesting for me at least.
And that's what happened here because we have like that vocal popping in a little bit. You used to hear like voiceovers like that with old sci-fi movies. There've been plenty of EDM artists that we were talking about before that incorporate actual philosophical quotes from Plato and
Alan Watts.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's a beautiful thing, man. I appreciate you bringing that track. That's awesome. All right, so for our last track of the evening, gentlemen, as is, the usual thing, because I bought all the recording equipment, I get to choose what we listen to last.
Fair,
right? This is a remix of a song coming up here named "Lovers on the Run," and this is by a artist named NIH. Oh my God. Too many beers. NIHILS. I'm not sure if I'm brand new to the artists themselves, but I'm not brand new to the person who remixed this, which was Virtual Riot. So I'm not sure if you call the original artist Nihils or whatever, but this is another example of a remix just being kick-ass, which is, we're finding, pretty common in EDM.
Yep.
Because of the Virtual Riot remix of Lovers on the Run. Take a listen to this and let me know what you guys think, because I've been listening to this track on repeat for the past 2 weeks straight, and hopefully after listening to this you will too. Here we go. my gosh. I'm getting kind of emotional. I love that song so much. No, I'm kidding. All right. So that was Lovers on the Run by Nihils. Oh, God. I'm so sorry, guys. If you know how to pronounce that artist's name.
No idea.
Yep. Adjust it. You're fine. Just go ahead and pull that up, dude.
No, I'm good.
But more importantly, in my opinion, that was remixed by who is becoming one of my favorite artists now, Virtual Riot. Damn. So let's talk about that really quick before we go into the next segment of the show. The reason as to why that track is really just crazy good to me is because it just incorporates a lot of different layers being put on top of one another. And I know there's probably a lot of people out there who are saying, Mike, you can say that about all EDM. It's all layers, dude. Yeah, well...
Can you execute it properly?
Exactly. Good question. Yeah. And also when you have like different rhythm structures that are piled on top of one another and somehow it's still... Well, too many beers. But every time you guys hear me like drop out of audio like that, it means that I'm belching. I don't want you guys to know that I'm, drinking too much. Anyway, back to... Wow, that's a weird segue. But anyway, that's... you're right, Zeke. That saying that it's a lot of rhythm being put together and still being able to fit into specific time signature.
You can have some like messy EDM music.
For sure. But I'm really happy to hear that, probably because of the great use of the people who are putting together artists who are represented on Spotify. Because I'll be honest with you guys, again, Spotify, not an official sponsor of Wait for the Drop.
Wait for the Drop.
Yes. But again, a great service. They have quality artists on there, and they're quality because they understand how, and in some way, I think, how complicated being good at anything, but being a good DJ, being a good electronic dance music artist really is. You have to incorporate a lot of different elements from a lot of different genres and still make it fit into like what is.
You got to be a straight up nerd to like be good at this.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, like there's so much like
we were talking about
details and like just like the science of like audio engineering.
Absolutely.
So
absolutely. So much respect to the artists. I mean, you guys are making things that we love, and the reason as to why three friends can come together and just talk shit about not talk shit, but just talk about music in general is because of your efforts. So we are eternally grateful to all of you who are willing to put your stuff on Spotify and let us play it for our enjoyment. So anyway, moving on, gentlemen, let's move on to the next segment of the show, the segment that we talk about upcoming shows here in Utah and Salt Lake, because as we all know, this is Wait for the Drop.
Wait for the Drop.
It's like 8 times. I love it. The only Salt Lake City-based EDM podcast where 3 friends and 9 tracks come together to hash it out. And now we're going to ask you the big question. Do you like to party like Chris Farley?
I wanna party like Chris Farley.
Ooh, concert lineup. So this is the segment of the show where we're going to be talking about local concerts here in Utah, either in Salt Lake or in the surrounding counties, that if you are listening to this podcast, which was recorded on March 26, 2017, these are the shows that we are interested in, and hopefully the shows that you should be interested in. So Zeke, go ahead. What's upcoming in the next couple of months, weeks, days, whatever that you are interested in going to, buddy?
So in a couple of weeks, Drezzo will be coming to Park City.
Drezzo, I think that's Therapy Thursdays.
Oh, okay. So that's going to be at a club called Sky in Salt Lake, and that's going to be in a couple of weeks. The next one I would want to go to is Glass Animals, and that's going to be in July.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you know Glass Animals at all, like that's going to be pretty.
We'll bring in.
Is that the name of the artist, or is that the name of the actual?
That's the artist.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll bring some tracks.
Oh yeah, let's talk about that, because this segment of the show isn't just festivals and venues, guys. It's also artists that are going to be here in Utah. Coming up.
No, and they're
Glass Animals.
It's Glass Animals. I'm so excited.
I can tell.
Yeah. And the one, I'm really looking forward to is the big, like, summertime festival, DOS Energy.
Yes!
I don't even know who's coming, but, like, last year's lineup was nuts.
Yeah, it's a legendary show here in Utah. It's been going on for a long time.
So that'll be August 18th and 19th.
Nicely done, sir. Any more, or is that it?
Nope. Toby's got the other ones.
Let's hit it, Toby. What are you looking forward to seeing this year, buddy?
There's one, it's Illenium, which is going to be up in Park City on April 1st.
Nicely done.
Hoping I can make it to that one. Above and Beyond is another one. I think we played a track for the last time.
That's true.
That's April 13th.
And that's the artist Above and Beyond.
Yeah.
See, it's so hard sometimes because like you get like these festivals that are like Get Lucky and Ultima or whatever, Ultima, and it's like Ultra. That's what it is down in Florida, or is it? It's in Miami,
Florida.
right?
Yeah.
But like those could be names of artists themselves.
Yeah.
So guys, if you are listening to this, understand it's not only the name of the actual festival, but it can also be the name of the artist itself who is taking time to be here in Salt Lake or in Utah. But don't worry, because we'll provide you the knowledge. Anyway, I'm sorry, I don't mean to clarify that too much, Toby. Keep going, dude.
No,
I'm sorry.
Perfect. You're good. Dirty Phonics is another one. Also.
Fuck yes!
April 13th.
God damn, that might be the first show I go to of the year, dude. Because Dirty Phonics is off the fucking chain, dude.
Hell yeah. Later in May, there's Transmit and Dada Life, which I'm pretty
Dada
stoked
Life.
for.
Oh my God.
I'm excited for Dada Life.
For real.
Fuck yeah.
And the main way I keep on top of these shows is just following pages on Facebook. There's a V2 page,
which we'll have links to in the description for the videos
V2, and then
up.
Park City Live, both great resources to find out about artists coming to.
Excellent. Good words of the wise for the casual raver, I'm sure. So let's talk about one such experience of raving that we had coming up here with young Zeke. Zeke, as it has been provided to us by you telling us about it. you went to Get Lucky, which happened a couple weeks ago in March. So let's talk about that. What did you think of the show, dude?
Definitely. So, like, what you can expect when you go to a big show like Get Lucky, like a 2-day festival.
Yeah.
You can expect like, let's say, I don't know, several, if not dozens of big name artists coming to perform.
When you're dealing like with artists who are performing, like not one artist, but like you're going to have a festival that's going 48 hours straight, well, probably more.
No, I mean usually from like 5 p.m. till 2 a.m.
Jesus
at least
Christ.
at the Saltaire.
2 nights in a row.
Dude,
2 nights in a row.
Go hard or go home. That's the way it is.
But it's fucking fun.
What was the lineup like?
So I didn't end up going to both days. I ended up just going to the second day, and we had 19 performers.
Jesus Christ,
19 performances. I didn't show up until 8 p.m. So I was catching the last bit of Yuki's set, which I didn't know him very well, but
yeah.
And like also another thing that they do at festivals like these are like back-to-back performances. So like artists will come and like play and like mix with each other.
Yeah. I love that shit.
Yeah, and it's so much fun to like watch that. And
you guys were talking about that not a Get Lucky, but there was there was like a remix with like was it Madion that you saw, or was it like it was Parker?
Madion and Porter Robinson.
Yeah, that was a special show though.
Okay, but that was just them going together. But you'll find like with these festival circuits that pop up, you're gonna have artist A playing earlier, then they'll meld into artist B.
Yeah,
and it's common, at least from what I've been able to see, that they'll be mixing off each other at least for a portion of the show, and then it'll just be
switch over
like
to the next guy.
For example, we had Lodestar, D-Say Breaks, and Bad Company UK. And they just like all intermittently in the period of like, an hour, almost 2 hours, just, switching off and like having a good time with each other.
Jesus
like,
Christ, dude.
They were just like kicking it and playing their music and
DJ battles in the middle of Salt Lake, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
What was your favorite? Well, I know it's hard to say because
I don't know.
Yeah. Can you give us a top 3 maybe of the groups that popped in there while you were seeing them?
Yeah, definitely like probably the last 3 performances. Well, yeah, the last 3 performances. So, from like 10:30 to 11:30, Joyride performed.
Killer.
And he's just kind of like, a dubsteppy type guy. And
okay.
I had never heard him before, but I dug it for sure.
That's cool.
Yeah, the next one was Snails.
Yeah, you talked about Snails before.
Snails he really reminded me of another artist called Midnight Tyrannosaurus that I saw
I've never heard
back
them
in the
before.
fall, but he did this really cool. But it's called Vomit. Vomit House is the genre of Snails.
Oh,
because
yeah.
like
Jesus
the
Christ.
noises he makes sound almost like vomit. It's like it's stuff like that.
We're gonna release your hit single. It's gonna be called Vomit House in the next couple of years as this
And
podcast
so-
goes forward.
Yeah, and probably I don't know, maybe my favorite performance was just like the headlining performance, Nero.
Yeah.
Like little
we just played.
little background. Nero is actually a duo. Unfortunately, I don't know, what the circumstances were. Only one of the persons of that duo could come and perform. So,
okay.
They only did a DJ set, so it wasn't like a live performance. He still did live mashups, but there wasn't the two of them there to really make a Nero show.
But you still dug it?
I still dug it. He had some great stuff. Like I said before, he laid down this great remix of Icky Thump by the White Stripes.
That's right. You mentioned that before. That's great.
It blew my mind.
EDM is just remixes aplenty, man, and is more power to him, because that's where you're going to find a lot of different interpretations of great music.
And then something I realized while watching these shows is that the artists aren't just casually just playing their songs, pressing a button. They are
for sure
working hard, feeling the energy of the crowd and trying to figure out what's gonna get
what track
going.
am I gonna play next?
When should I go slow, or when should I go hard? When should I throw in something else? When can I do a cool little mashup or whatever?
Yeah, and I don't care how many times we touch on that, because I think it's really important that one thing that we do is understand that when you're up there in front of 10,000 plus people and you're trying to read your audience, fuck being in the studio, first of all, which is hard in and of itself.
Exactly.
Doing a live performance, you can't put a CD in a well, it's not CDs anymore. That shows how dated I am. But you can't put your iPod into an aux input and just push play and expect that to be a good show.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, look at Steve Aoki. I mean, that guy goes into all kinds of special effects and pyros and everything in his live shows. And he's mixing on the fly. On those too.
Exactly. This is what they're doing. And you think oh no, I'm just chilling out now, but no, it's I struggle to find words for it.
It's okay. Words to the wise, though, brother. I appreciate where you're coming from.
Fucking awesome.
As most things that are fucking awesome, it's harder than it looks. Mm-hmm. And we are definitely lucky to be here to listen to this kind of stuff, and also just be able to talk about it. Well, good. Hell of a lineup, guys. Really do appreciate you letting us know. Is there anything else that you were popping up?
I don't know.
Should I put the hold on a second.
Yeah, well, I just wanted to touch on the venue.
Let's do it. The Saltaire, the legendary Saltaire of Salt Lake City, the one and only. Toby, say that one more time.
The one and only.
Goddamn straight. Let's talk about the fucking Saltaire, guys.
All right. So, little background on the Saltaire. It used to be a tourist attraction. So it's almost like a palace on the edge of the Great Salt Lake.
Yeah.
Out in the Salt Flats, in the middle of fucking
nowhere.
Magna. And I couldn't think of a better eccentric venue. That's where they have DOS Energy.
It's like Burning Man lights.
And it just attracts so many people here. But it's since been repurposed from whatever it used in whatever it was before, way back when, now to a concert venue.
Yeah, but it literally looked like the Taj Mahal.
Exactly. Yeah. Go Google it. It's trippy looking.
Yeah, which is perfect for the people that come by
Definitely,
and do concerts there. Because if you're going to have a place that by itself is a little weird, a little trippy or whatever, imagine having 1,000 people in there listening to EDM and just the light shows and everything, just making it even more. So it's perfect.
Yeah. The show that DOS Energy, that summer festival is because of the venue. It's just I went last fall, and there's a stage out on the beach, just you walk through the sand.
Awesome.
And then there's an outside stage, and then there's the inside stage, and it's just you can just walk around and see what you're feeling.
It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. Well, guys, I think we'll call a close on that note. Let's double check on a couple things that we touched on today. First of all, it's hard to be a DJ. Secondly, here in Salt Lake, the rave scene, the EDM scene, is alive and well with legendary venues. And as a lot of the artists, Virtual Riot for sure, Dirty Phonics as well, just off the top of my head, these are artists that come to Salt Lake City regularly. We were talking before how BT and Tiesto was here maybe 2 years ago, but he'll be coming back. Surprisingly enough, Salt Lake City is I think it's safe to say it's a hub
Yeah.
for EDM.
Yeah, definitely.
You know?
Just like looking at things I'm interested in going to the summer, I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to pay for all the concerts
Exactly,
I
for
wanna
sure. Let's take out a car loan and
sell my car. Go to
done.
all the concerts.
Just like stick your thumb out on the side of the road and it's like, are you guys going to Salterra? Yes. Sweet. Well, excellent. So that's a couple of things we're able to touch on top of the great music, the fact that the EDM scene is alive and well here in Salt Lake, and I think that's the main point of our show. That, and also understanding that it's very, very good to have a couple of individuals here who are willing to share your taste with me, guys. I really do appreciate it. I could not do this show if it wasn't for you, and I really do appreciate you coming in and just letting and educating me in regards to some cool artists. There's a couple of these tracks here that I am going to be putting on rotation. So, absolutely. So anyway, guys, thank you so very much for listening. Once again, this is Wait for the Drop.
Wait for the drop.
The only Salt Lake City-based EDM podcast where 3 friends and 9 tracks come together to hash it out. Really just chilling and doing what we can to enjoy the scene and enjoy the music. Please feel free to follow us on SoundCloud. Go ahead and like and subscribe on YouTube. And email us, waitforthedroppod@gmail.com. And we will do everything we can to answer questions, take suggestions, whatever's going on. But in the meantime, my name is Mike.
I'm Toby.
My name is Zeke.
And this is Wait for the Drop.
Wait for the drop.
Reminding you to have a good time and stay hydrated, my ladies. Take care, guys. Thanks a lot. Bye.